Hey guys, so been busy today. Haven't done any skate content in a while, and have been trying to keep up on my comments. I actually got a surprising amount of comments on my video about bearing spacers in skateboard wheels. And so I kind of wanted to do a follow-up about that, and also to show you guys this tool that I found on Amazon. It's a simplified bearing press, and I'm going to show you in a minute why this is awesome. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to loop back around. I did get some questions. A lot of people just commented and said, I don't use spacers. I've never used spacers. I don't know what the point of those comments are. Maybe defiance, but there were some people that said that they hadn't thought about it, and it kind of made them think differently about how they put their setup together, which was kind of my hope, that it would just kind of get people to understand the mechanics behind the design of the skateboard truck, washer, bearing, spacer, wheel assembly, how it's supposed to function effectively. Some people had said that they had trouble getting their bearings to push in all the way, and they felt like maybe the spacer was keeping them from going in all the way, and might some wheels be too small for spacers. So I wanted to speak to that as best I could. You know, to be honest, I can't say definitively because I haven't tried every wheel out there. I would have to say that it's probably an unusual and non-standard wheel that wouldn't accept a bearing spacer. And even if, well, and I don't know that it would just not accept it entirely, but even if your bearing doesn't go all the way in one side, if it's most of the way in the wheel, it's stabilized against the spacer and the other bearing, and it's all locked down tight, it's not going to go anywhere, especially if you have a hard wheel. Which, crazily enough, I have. These are old Bones Lizzie Armanto. I think these are like 84B. They're crazy hard. These are like the hardest wheels I've ever ridden in my life. And you can just imagine street skating on these around here and trying to slide. I could slide a few inches. That's about it. But I have these Bronson Speed Company bearings. So I thought I would just kind of do a quick video showcasing this tool and how to use it and how it can help you, especially if you have crazy hard wheels like these Bones and you're trying to get bearings into them. So first thing you want to do is unscrew this bad boy here and take it off. So this piece comes all the way off. There we go. And this piece, which I just dropped, this piece comes off also. We'll come back to that in a second. So you're going to take your bearing, face it towards the outside. I believe this side on Bronson's go to the outside. It's going to go up against that thing, right? Then you're going to put your wheel on, and then you are going to put your spacer in there like so. Then you're going to put another bearing on the other side of your wheel like this. So now you've got everything more or less in place. And initially, you may not be able to get this on here. See how that's flush? So we'll leave this bad boy off for a second. And we're just going to put this on. Try and hold it where you can see here. And we're just going to snug this down. And the thing I like about this is it keeps everything straight and aligned as you press in. And it's great for crazy hard, stupid hard wheels that you would kill yourself trying to push the bearings into. Now we have a little more room. This thing goes on. I put it on, I think this is the way it's supposed to work, with the indented side towards the bearing. So that presses up against just the outer edge, and it doesn't press against, say, this little rim there. That just presses against the outer edge of the bearing and not against your bearing shields and crushing your bearings inside, which will cause problems for you. It will slow your roll, dude. So, yeah, I know my hair is a mess, but it's skater hair today. That's what I'm going with. This thing cranks down so easy. And you just keep turning it until it won't turn anymore. And that's pretty much it. And then you back this bad boy off. It might stick on the spacer a little bit. Just wiggle it a little bit. And there you have one pair of perfectly seated bearings. It feels a little sacrilegious to put these Bronsons in Bones wheels, but my Bones bearings are in my street wheels, and I don't go to the skate park that often, so these are the skate park wheels. They get the Bronsons. But that's it. Super easy. Now the only thing I wish is that this had a special tool for removing them. I guess you could probably use this and kind of pry them out. I've taken the Bones Swiss out of these wheels, and it was not a fun endeavor. They kind of just, you know, moved around from one side to the other and held on for dear life. So if you get some Bones wheels that are harder than like 83B or 103A, it's the same thing, I would recommend that you just get some bearings that you can throw away with the wheels when you wear the wheels out. Anyway, I will say one thing. These are very hardy wheels. They're very long wearing. They don't cone easily. They did cone a little bit in the time I had them, but that's just because I tried to slide with them a lot. They were very fast, though, even in the street, as long as the street wasn't too bumpy. And that's one thing I do miss about them. So I may put those back on for a while. Now, there are like bigger, full-scale, like sits on a tabletop bearing presses that you can buy for much more money. If you're a person of more means than I. And I think they even have a bearing pulling mechanism in them too, some of them. But if you're looking for something on the cheap, this guy here, it's 3 pieces. You can buy it on Amazon. I forget how much it was. I will put a link in the description so you can check it out. I'm not even sure if they're still available. I think they are. But seems to be made of aluminum, and it's the same on both sides. It's getting nicely dinged up thanks to my clumsiness. On this side too, there's also, so it's a well thought out design. Somebody thought enough to at least think, okay, we're pressing bearings in, so we want to press on the hardest part of the bearing, the outer race. We don't want to press on the inner race or the bearing chamber and the shield, because that could compromise the function of the bearing. So they actually thought about how that works, how these pieces all fit together. See if I can leave a little space there where you can see. See, it's just going to press on this outer race, the silver outside, the orange here. Whoops, I'm not pointing at the right thing. So it's just going to press on the edge of that and not on your actual bearing. And if you look at your bearing races at the right angle, you'll see that they stick out a few micrometers beyond the bearing shield. And so having this, Bronsons like to give you lots of washers. So having this kind of stick out a little bit helps ensure that separation there. I like it. It's a good design. It gets your bearings in quickly and easily without fumbling, smashing, pounding, cussing, or anything else. So that's kind of a nice feature. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I would say my general answer to the question is unless you're using ridiculously skinny, non-standard, off-market kind of wheels, in most cases, your bearings should fit in securely into the wheel with a bearing spacer between them. To my understanding, in the years that I've been skating, most of the wheels I owned when I was younger, in the late 80s, early 90s, but every wheel that I ever tried to put a bearing spacer in, it fit perfectly. And now I've been skating again for about a year or so, and actually longer than that, because I did longboarding for about 4 or 5 years before I got back into street. And I believe I got spacers for my longboard wheels too. So every wheel that I've had has accommodated bearings with a spacer. So no excuses. Get out there, stick some spacers in your wheels, and tear it up. It just makes for a more stable assembly. It makes for a better roll, better connection between every part of your axle, nut, truck, and wheel assembly for maximum speed, maximum efficiency, and minimal torque against your inner cores of your wheel. So there's that. That's it for now, guys. Hope that helped you. Let me know if you still have questions about bearings, spacers, this little gadget, or anything else that I can answer for you. I'll do the best I can. Thanks. Take care. Skate safe, and God bless. Later.